first. Okay, think I'm going. Okay, what's up, guys? I have Lindsay here with me. She's been one of our clients, and I was just gonna say for an exact number of time. I don't even know how long at this point. It's definitely been well over, I think it's been over a year at this point.
Yeah.
Um, but I wanted to come on here and pick your brain, not only because you've been getting great results, but because you are a super successful salon owner, and I can tell you have a salon with great culture and a good team and a good energy. So, anywho, without further ado, introduce yourself. Who are you? Where are you from? What's your salon?
Hi, I'm Lindsay Guzman. I own LB Savvy in Denver, Colorado. And yeah, I think, is that what you asked me? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Lindsay and I'm in Denver.
Awesome. How big is your salon? When did you open? Like, what are all the details about LB?
Yeah, we have been open since 2015 and we are currently a 12 stylist but 15 employee salon. So what is that? Medium sized. Uh,
Pretty
I
hefty,
don't
I'd
actually
say.
really know, but we
Yeah.
feel slightly bigger than small, but not quite large.
Yeah, yeah. One thing that you guys, I think, what's interesting to point out is that you're like, we have this many stylists, we have this many employees. You guys do a great job with front of house. Like you guys have a lot of passion with front desk and that kind of stuff, which we'll put a pin in that because I do want to talk about it. But like I said, you found us, let's call it a year and a half, 2 years ago. When you found us, were you seeking marketing? Did you just stumble upon us? And what kind of brought you to make the decision of, hey, maybe I need something like this for the salon?
We had sought out lots of different marketing options. Oddly enough, at the time, we weren't super driven by finding new marketing. It was more finding niche marketing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We wanted something that was much more attuned to us and not just such a broad net. It felt like every other company we'd talked to, they did dentists and they worked with lawyers and they worked with construction workers. And then they were like, oh, we could totally tackle a salon. And no one ever seemed to really get us.
Yeah.
So this seemed to be different because it was specifically for hair salons and people in this industry. So I think that was the piece that drew me to it. I actually had been following you guys for probably 2 years before I pulled the trigger. And I actually had had a call with you once and had not done it and then had called again. So it was quite the process.
Well, it also, I mean, lends a hand to knowing what you're going to be stepping into when you start marketing for your own
Yes.
salon, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not necessarily this press this button and great things start happening. I mean, it kind of was that way for you. I don't mean to toot our own horn, but like you guys did have really great results with your first round of ads and things like that. But I guess to that point, what was the process like implementing our systems into your salon? Would you say it was difficult at first, easy to understand? Like, what were your thoughts in the beginning and how it kind of melded in?
I was actually really surprised for having done this for so long and been really good at marketing. Like, I didn't actually feel like we had done a bad job.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see how much detail you guys went into, and then also how much of it we had never even done, tried, or anything. So it was a completely new set of skills we needed to learn, a new set of lenses we had to look at everything through, which I both liked and loathed, depending on the week that I had time for it. But once we got it implemented and the front of house really kind of got their legs with it,
Yeah.
um, it was like we could see a whole new picture of the angles to which we were pulling clientele, and we were able to minimize or eliminate the kind of like the again the broader net stuff that we were doing, the Yelp, the Google ads kind of things that felt like it was you just never really knew what you were getting. You just kind of like were told that
Yeah,
that
you're like,
worked.
cool.
Um, and so it was fun to create like a very niche focal point on like, here's where we want clients, here we want them to want from us, and really lean into that. And so all the sheets, all of that stuff, though more work than I think I would have initially thought in the beginning, totally worth it in the end. And again, super helpful that I had such an amazing front of house because they really tackled it. I mean, I introduced them to it, but then they ran with it from there.
No, 100%. And I do want to touch on that too. What was the thing that inspired you to have such a strong front desk presence? And was it always that way for you guys?
Um, it has always been that way, but we have leaned in heavy in the last couple of years. Um, I mean, I hate to say it, but it came out of laziness a little bit. Like, I'm a hairstylist before anything else, and I don't like to do the things that the front of house does. And I feel like it makes me a terrible hairstylist when I do try and do them.
Yeah.
If I can focus on the client's experience when they're in my chair, and then my front of house can focus on the experience before they get into it and when they leave, the client has a much better experience than when I try and do all of it. What's that saying? Jack of all trades, but master of none. That's what it
Yep.
starts to feel like. And so we found, since we are a luxury experience salon, that's really where the luxury comes in. They know that they can call and always have someone to talk to. There's somebody who has a better idea of my schedule than even I do. It feels almost like I have a personal assistant, and
Yeah.
it feels like every single stylist in here has that personal assistant that's like, hey, I don't know my schedule as well as Christina does. She's going to handle you from here, and if you have questions, you can get a hold of her, because I'm going to be taking care of a client at that time. And it makes the client feel really special. And so we found that when we really leaned into it, we could charge more, we had better reviews, we had better experience. And the salon, everyone here is happier because they're getting to do the thing that they're good at and
Yes.
not having to do the things they just feel like is a chore.
100%. Because I mean, I work with a lot of salon owners and I talk to a lot of salon owners, commission salon owners specifically. And
Mm-hmm.
you hear it all the time, whether it's on the internet, whatever. It's like the commission salon is dying, and like these stylists, they can't fathom the fact that stylists want to get something in return for giving you half their paycheck.
Yeah.
And I get it because it wasn't always that way. Like you could get away with just putting a roof over a stylist's head and expect them to stay forever. But times have changed, evolved. They can go get a studio, they can go do whatever. So it's like, what are you going to do to create an opportunity that is better for them here than it is over there, whatever
Yeah.
the other opportunity is? And I'm a firm believer, always have been, and it's been like solidified since working with you and other salon owners like you who take that accountability at the front desk. It's like that is the thing that stylists don't want to do. Like
Yeah.
they're like, I want to do hair and go home. They literally say that. They're
Yeah.
telling you exactly what they want, and you
Yeah.
can have that fixed, mind you. Easier said than done. You have to
Yeah.
employ some multiple people at the front desk. They have to be good at what they do. It's not like a minimum. I think where people go wrong with front of houses is like, let's just find anybody off the street and it's a minimum
Mhm.
wage. Like a hot body could just sit there with no
Yeah.
blood and it's fine.
Yeah.
That's not
That
the
doesn't work.
it has to be a person. No, it
Unfortunately,
has
we've
to be
tried. It
somebody
doesn't
who
work.
cares about customer service and experience. And to your point, that is what's going to make you different from every salon down the street because that's what's going to make it a luxury experience is
Yeah.
when they call, somebody picks up the phone. And
Yeah.
it's not, I'll get back to you in 24 hours. Like they can easily go find another stylist in 24
Yeah.
hours, you know?
The staff laugh at me because they hear me say all the time, I'm like, look, if I wanted to be IKEA or McDonald's, then I would have a kiosk at the front.
Yeah.
But I don't. I want to be Nordstrom. I want to be Barney's. I want to be the place that people go to for the experience they can't get anywhere else. And the
Yeah.
front of house is what gives that.
100%. And one thing I think that because you had brought up tracking a little bit beforehand, you guys have also done a really great job at just client communication in general. And I think the tracking that we helped you guys implement, at least from afar, this is what I think highlighted a lot of not like big holes, but it highlighted some holes in the bucket where you guys found opportunity and were like, oh, we could just because the systems you already had in place, you're like, now it's clear. Let's focus on these clients who we haven't seen in 6 months or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So would you say, I guess, I don't know, what is your feedback on all of that?
Yeah. I mean, you know, again, it was that lens. It gave us a new lens to see things from. And anytime you look at something from a different angle, you're going to learn something new. And the thing that we saw was an opportunity to be able to track and connect with old clients, with clients that maybe had seen a different stylist that had left, and give them the opportunity to know that we were still there without being pushy or icky or weird. Um, and the reactivation campaign was super successful. And still to this day, we do it. The staff now have taken it upon themselves where, we've implemented it in a way where they actually get points for connecting with clients they haven't seen after 90 days.
Yeah.
Um, because it's just so personal if they do it, and it yields a higher return. So that has been really awesome. And then, the new staff that come in that are slower and want to have a hand in building beyond what we already do for them. You know, Fill Your Books has allowed us to have clientele constantly booking, but when you're building three stylists, that,
Sure.
you'd have to have a lot of people. And so they want to have a hand in it. And so having them do the DM engine along with the efforts that we're doing only compounds. And again, something I would have never thought to do.
Yeah.
Um, and it gave them a construct to where it was like a starting off point, and then they found ways that worked for them. Some of them contact only their Instagram followers, and that has worked really, really well. Some
Yeah.
of them feel comfortable contacting, areas where they frequent a lot. Some of them do it off of Book Talk. It's hilarious
That's
to
awesome.
see the
Love it.
directions that they all go with it. But it really helped them lean in and see where they connect with their clients too,
Yeah.
and the kind of clientele they want to cultivate. So some of my staff want all LGBTQ plus clientele,
Yeah.
and some of my staff want all book talk clientele and people who read, smutty romance novels. And this gave them a way to really connect with just those people and end up filling their chair with just those people, which was so lovely.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I would have ever seen Instagram and social media, all that stuff. I'm a dinosaur. Like that is something that like I just have not really leaned into. And this gave just a really lovely construct where I didn't have to figure it out for myself.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to, my time is so valuable. I don't want to pay to figure things out. I want to pay people who've already figured it out to tell me what to do. So
And, hey, if that wasn't the perfect kind of tie the ribbon on the gift, whatever. But what would you say to officially wrap it up was the biggest change that you saw, like positive, whether it's like, hey, we saw this many new clients or whatever, like what was your big, like, this was great?
that's a hard one to answer. I would say what I just said. The big
Yeah.
one was unlocking the mystery of really how to tap into the metaverse in a way that was constructive and productive,
Yeah.
and not have to pay for months and months and months of my time to figure it out, which is nauseating. So to be able to pay someone who's already done the due diligence, who's already done the work, who's already figured out the things that work, and have you guys do the hard, heavy lifting, and we, do the quote unquote easy stuff.
Hmm.
The other piece of it was once we started creating those ads, seeing what a difference the content made in the quality of the client, and then being able to communicate that to my staff, and then seeing their reaction in leaning into getting really good content, to getting really good before and afters, to getting really good video of the day. Seeing that change also was amazing. So I feel like just as a whole, it's completely changed the way we think about marketing, changed the way we think about how we function throughout the day in the salon. Um, yeah, I mean, it at first it was just a marketing thing to get new clientele and to create really good SEO in the metaverse. And in the end, it created almost like a positive culture uptick that
Yeah.
now the front of house has taken on the role of being social media managers as well as marketing managers as well
Yeah.
as front. I mean, it's been really amazing to give them the construct so they didn't have to figure it out. They just follow the process.
Yeah. So dumb. It literally gives me goosebumps because this is the stuff that I get so amped up and excited about because it isn't just marketing. And I try to explain this to people, but sometimes you have to hear it from someone else's mouth. Like these are the types of things that all of salon owners complain about, all
Yeah.
salon owners struggle with, all stylists struggle with, right? And it's like
Yeah.
I believe this is marketing, camaraderie, culture. Like it's kind of the link that can bridge everything together that makes
Yeah.
everything confusing for people. So that's really, really great. Shout out, what's the salon's Instagram, your Instagram, so people can go follow you guys.
So we have two. LB Savvy, spelled like the magazine, ELLEB Savvy, is our salon, and then LB West is mine. And yeah, come check us out, see what the ads are awesome. They're not, obviously, I don't know. I have the hardest time finding them because, except for the when you've
You're
sent
not
them to
a
me,
target market, Lindsay.
I'm not the target market apparently. All my staff see them all the time. Yeah, so you come check us out. And honestly, I'm happy to talk to salon owners across the board because it has been so worth the effort that anyone who's really serious about having a long-standing, valuable um, salon that stands the test of time, this is the kind of marketing strategy you use. It's not the you have to put other effort into it as well, but this is the one that really stands the test of time.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you. And if you're watching this, feel free to book a demo with us. Go to fillyourbooks.com, my Instagram at Jenna Puzio Hair. Feel free to send me a message. Always happy to chat with people, but we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, Lindsay.
Thanks.